Go in the back. Bang, let's go, baby. Let's go, it's 2 in a row.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today's video, I'm out here at one of my local parks doing some field work. Just gonna kind of show you guys what my field work looks like and how it could relate to your game. First thing I like to do is get on my Jaeger bands. I use these a lot when I played baseball in school. Just really get warm up for my shoulders and my arms so I don't pull or tear anything. I know some of you can just go and throw 30 discs easily without having any kind of warm up or any kind of stretching, but I cannot do that. So using my Jaeger bands is a great way for me to get my upper body warm and ready to chunk plastic as hard as I can for a few hours. The next thing I like to do is get a good stretch of my lower body in. I've had several injuries in the past from high school sports and college sports in my lower body, specifically my back and my hamstrings. So I do like to stretch those out really good, so that way I'm not pulling anything on my lower body. Plus, the cramp up situation I had last season is another reason why I do now stretch my lower body a lot more than I used to. I also like to really get into my hips. Throwing the way that I throw forehand does a lot for my hip flexors. It's a very big stretch on them every time I throw, so I do like to get my hips loose as well. So this field that I'm throwing at is about 410 feet long total. I like to get a initial measurement just to make sure, see exactly how far the disc can go without going into the woods up there, and the highway's right behind it, so just try to make sure that I can't throw that far anyway, but just try to see how far it is total. So just like regular ball golf, when starting off I like to start with the lower stuff first. So I'll throw a few standstills with my mid-ranges and my putters. Another thing, you'll see a second bag there. I brought a bunch of extra discs to kind of hone in my bag. As I said, my last in the bag, there was a lot of changes that could be made. So I did bring a few extra discs, some that I have looked at in the past as putting into my bag. But just something small, just starting with a few standstills. I'll do this for forehands and tomahawks, so that way I can get completely warm and not overthrow. After that, I'll go ahead and go into my normal routine. I try not to rush every shot because that's just going to create bad habits. So I try to take every shot, take time with every shot, like I would be on the course. So I'll go ahead and put my run up into it, throw them at a little bit higher pace, so that way, I'm gradually warming up and not going from 0 to 100. And I'll usually do this two sets of that, so I'll throw my slower stuff twice, so that way I can stay not tearing a muscle by going from, like I said, 0 to 100. So after throwing my slower stuff, I want to say full speed, I'll go out and I'll get measurements for everything just to see the baseline as to where I'm at when it comes to distance with mid-ranges and putters, trying to hone that in. It's very important to know how far you throw most of your discs. So that's what I'm doing here. So the next thing I like to do is set up a different camera angle. Really just a form check, making sure I'm not creating bad habits with my form and that I'm doing everything correctly how it's supposed to look. Normally after I do this, I'll go back and look at it and make sure there's nothing that I'm doing wrong, or that I'm not messing anything up when it comes to my form. And after I do all that, I will go ahead and start moving up in speed of discs. So here you see I'm throwing the servo, I think is how you pronounce it. It's not a disc that I've had in my bag traditionally, but it's a disc that I'm trying out. I'll go fairway drivers next. Then I'll work on distance drivers, just trying to see, slowly work my way up there to the, higher speed stuff. But I'll throw everything here that's left. I'm not going to go measure everything, just the fairway drivers, and then come back and then do the distance drivers. No, I'll measure everything here, and sometimes I'll go and do this a second time, especially with some of the discs that I have not thrown well during the fieldwork session. For example, I've maybe turned a disc over when I shouldn't have. I just keep track of that and try to make sure that the discs that I am throwing, when they do get a good release, that those are the ones that I'm measuring, not the ones that I throw super nose up or that I burn into the ground. So after I've thrown everything forehand, I am then going to move on to my tomahawk discs. And then just like my forehand stuff, I'm going to throw it, smaller speed, lower speed stuff that doesn't really require all that much effort to get it to do what it's supposed to do, to the higher speed stuff that I have to throw a little bit harder. Since I'm changing arm slots here, I don't like to go forehand, tomahawk. I'd rather just do all forehands at once and then tomahawks next. So that's how I'll do that. And then I'll go and measure all my tomahawk discs after I've picked up all of my forehand discs. So depending on time is how many times I'll throw each disc. I don't want to throw my arm out. I'm probably not going to throw more than twice each. And it's normally, once I get a good throw out of that disc, it's done. If I mess up a throw or something doesn't go correctly in another throw, then I'll rethrow that disc just to get an accurate measurement and an accurate flight out of it to see what it's supposed to do. But normally, I don't want to throw my arm out and get completely exhausted, so I won't throw everything but twice, maybe 3 times. But after all that, I do like to get a nice cool down stretch in, so all that lactic acid has somewhere to go and doesn't just build up where I'm at. So of course, I'll stretch my hips and do my arms, make sure that I'm getting a nice stretch, which is something not a lot of people do, especially after a tournament. You're tired, you're ready to go back to the house, maybe you lost, you're just mad, you just want to get in the car, listen to music and take off. But especially when doing field work, it's very important to get a stretch in afterwards, so that way all that work you just did wasn't for nothing. But that's going to be it for today's video. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. I do apologize, this came out on a Saturday. My Friday was extremely busy, doctor's appointments and all that good stuff, so I was not able to get it posted yesterday. But either way, it's still one video a week, still got that going strong. So I appreciate you guys for watching. Make sure to ring that notification bell. Hopefully we won't miss another Friday, and we'll see you guys next week.